In a world where women's sports is being transformed, the Daily Wire calls foul with the most triggering comedy of the year.
Right, so people are very happy about this. They're a little bit upset. I noticed on Twitter especially. They're not very happy at all. But it's interesting that one person actually said something very insightful. They were like, well, you right-wingers, you always complain about movies being political. So why is it different when the Daily Wire does it? And it's interesting because it is different, isn't it? Like it's actually successful. It's got, look at this shit. Okay? 9.3 million views. That's a lot of views, chat. That's, wow. Okay? Much more than Disney would get in 4 days. Look at this, right? 4 days. I'm curious about the thumbs up, thumbs down ratio, but unfortunately YouTube doesn't let me see it. So why is it? What? Yeah, because it's a good question. Why is it that all of a sudden politics good? And I think the reason for it has to be with the fact that this movie is advertised as being political. From top to bottom. I mean, it's made by the Daily Wire, which is a company that makes political content. And the entire movie is built around the premise of being political. And this is why no one is upset on the right. Because it's like, yeah, I mean, you know what you're going for, right? They're not trying to subvert your expectations. They're not doing a bait and switch. They're not hiding the carrot in the broccoli like the director of The Last of Us was saying when he did LGBT in The Last of Us TV show. That's what he said in an interview. No, it's literally, you are getting what you expect, okay? Now, if the Daily Wire would have purchased the rights for My Hero Academia, and they would have made a TV show, or they would have made a sequel or a spin-off in the My Hero Academia universe, and they would have pushed this politics, you know, like this trans women in sports into My Hero Academia, where it doesn't really make sense because, like, all of the characters there have superpowers, and even if you're a woman or a man, it doesn't really matter because, like, the quirks are what determines your power, not your gender. And they would have pushed this message and they would try to force it into the My Hero Academia universe, then yeah, it would have been shit. No, I absolutely agree. No one would have watched it then, right? And this is the difference between what the Daily Wire does and what the left is doing. The left is purchasing IPs that historically have been done for entertainment, and they're not trying to make them for entertainment. They're trying to make them to push a message that people don't want to watch. Like, if you make this type of documentary from a leftist perspective, right? Like, if you were to make a movie about why open border is awesome, or, you know, you make a movie about, I don't know, encouraging trans kids to come out, or like some leftist topic, how many people do you think are going to go see it? Like, unironically, right? Like, if you make a movie about why we need more censorship on the internet, how many people are going to go see it? And this is why they have to hijack various IPs and various franchises. It's due to the fact that their message is unappealing. Their message isn't selling. They need the censorship. They need the suppression of everything else. And what they can't buy, what they can't purchase, they have to censor and suppress. And then they hope that, oh, by watching a Disney movie, you are going to get the message. By playing a video game, you are going to get the message. But the message by itself, no one wants it. Like, everyone knows what it is. You know, like when it comes to environmentalism, for example. Everyone heard the message. Most people had their car stopped down by some environmental chuckleheads. Or they saw some oil being thrown at a painting. Like, people are already aware of the message. They already made up their mind. They already know what to think about it. You're aware of this, and this is why you have to put the message into entertainment, and this is why people hate it, because it's not entertainment. It's literally, like the director of Last of Us said, like hiding the carrot in the broccoli. When you hide the carrot in the broccoli, and the kid feels that you're not giving him broccoli, but you're actually giving him carrot, if he doesn't like the carrot, he's going to complain, and he doesn't want to eat it. It's literally the same principle. Yes, it's what's happening here. And the second reason why people like the Daily Wire is because we've been told that this is offensive, right? Like the public at large, like literally everyone is completely outraged about this movie. Like everyone is. If I show this at my Christmas family gathering, everyone is going to be like, offensive, outrageous. You can't joke about this. Like these things are sacred. And ironically, like I haven't heard the concept that you can't joke about an idea unless the concept is religious, right? Like in my country, in Eastern Europe, like you can't joke about Jesus Christ, you can't joke about these things because like it offends people. But other than that, like everything is up for a joke. Even I myself, even people joke about themselves, right? But in America lately, no, like there are certain concepts that they decide that no, you can't joke about this. Why? Because the public finds it offensive, okay? Like the modern audience, they don't like it. It's not for modern times. But when you look at it, when someone actually does have the money and the clout and the pull to make something that's offensive, you get 9.3 million views in 4 fucking days. And all it takes is a man in a wig. You don't need special effects. You don't need a production of $300 million. You don't need to hire more executive like Bob Iger is suggesting. No. Very, very cheap to make. Probably the script isn't really that hard to write. Like, literally, you just make a couple of political jokes, which is what Saturday night comedians were supposed to do, and you get 9.3 million views in 4 days. This is insane. It's more than anime. And the reason they hate it is because it shows the big lie. And the big lie is that everyone finds this offensive. Oh, it is. Advertisers are freaked out. Well, advertisers are advertising on this. Right? So no, it's not offensive. It's a vocal minority that thinks, you know what's offensive? I'll tell you what's offensive. It's when a vocal minority thinks that you, a grown adult, can't decide for yourself what you can and can't watch, and they have to come in and decide for you. They think that they're like your mommy and daddy. They think that they know better than what you know. And they get to decide what offends you, and they get to decide what you should and shouldn't be able to watch. And it's interesting because the same people will say, well, art is subjective, right? So if you look at one of the garbage movies that Marvel throws out, they're going to say, well, you can't criticize it because art is subjective, beauty is subjective, it's just your opinion. But when it comes to offense, all of a sudden it's objective, right? Like objectively, people find this and this offensive, and they will get to dictate literally what people find offensive. And I think like the public has had enough. I think the public considers themselves to be mature in order to say that no, this is actually not it's not offending me. Like if it's offending you, that like it's your business, you can choose not to watch it, but I don't feel offended by it. And it's interesting that they never point out that women like this as well. Like how many of Lady Ballers, how many people that go watch Lady Ballers do you think happen to be women? I know trans people that actually like this. I know it's shocking, but there are trans people that have a sense of humor. Insane, isn't it? I know, it's like wrapping your mind around this concept. No, I have trans people that actually do support my Subscribestar and my Patreon. I have a trans person that actually supports all my channels. And they do not find this offensive. So why is it that someone gets to speak on their behalf? Why is it that someone gets to demand that they don't get to watch this movie? Which, by the way, would it even be that funny if Disney would actually produce funny things to compete with it? People don't have that much money. If competition was strong, then people would watch Disney movies, right? Because they have like higher production value. They have the money to hire more popular actors and... But for some reason, you got 9.3 million people watching this. And the comments are also incredibly positive. What are the trolls? What are the trolls? Huh? Do the left not have trolls? Is that interesting? Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.